numbers for their holiday sale. We had some really surprisingly good ones, some okay. And so I was going to just talk about today on maybe what you can do as a secondary sale or things we can learn from these other people on what they did that was really hot on their sales. I was hoping to have Tom Baker on. Tom Baker and his wife, they did their sale on Saturday. They're in Mesa, Arizona. They did $47,000 cash in one day, which is pretty incredible. Included in that was 70 weeks of camp. They do things a little bit different than William does. They actually have people prepaid to camp. So those are 70 people or 70 weeks of camp that he got paid full already for next summer. So that was pretty remarkable too. Couple other victories I thought was Melody Strauss. She's got a school down here in Florida. She just decided to do her sale last weekend, a week ago. So she had 7 days to put it together. She's got 75 students. She had 40 of her students come in, which I thought was pretty incredible. That was half her school. She wasn't used to selling programs or birthday parties. Most of the things she did was retail. On Saturday, she called me and said she did $2,500. I go, well, that's pretty good for your first one. And then I talked to her today. Since Saturday, people have called her and wants to do programs. So she did another $1,500. So she's up to $4,000. She's got 2 more people in the pipeline that are just making the decision. So she could get up to 5 or 6. So she was pretty happy. I thought that was, really, really solid for first time sale. Oh, we got Tom and Ellen Baker coming on right now. Cheers. Mr. Baker. Hey, sir. Tom, how you doing?
Great. How are you? Can you hear me?
I can now. Yes.
Awesome.
I didn't talk to you since your sale, but I did talk to your son, John, so he gave me some of the numbers.
Great. Sorry, I just got back from Edward Jones, and I know I'm a little late, but yeah, great weekend, right?
Yeah, I guess your son said he did 47,000.
Yeah, I've got to talk to him. Somebody didn't put in a little bit of the cash. They must not have put it into either one of the clovers or the square, but it looks like we hit 48. And then I know there's some people coming in today because they were out of town this weekend. We're going to start having them 2 weeks before Black Friday because people are starting to take vacations early. Mm-hmm. And I think we might have missed maybe 3,000-4,000 that way. But
and I was talking to Stefan Molnar. She's got a school up by Raleigh in North Carolina. She knew that some people couldn't make her sale. In other words, she advertised the sale. People came into her and said, I may not be able to make it. So I told her to send out an email as soon as the sale started. Said, if you can't make her sale, we didn't want you to miss these great opportunities. She listed everything. She did $7,500 on online sales during her actual holiday sale, which
beautiful.
She was impressed. I mean, that one idea made her another $7,500. And I talked to her too. I said, you still got a couple of things. You still got Black Friday. We can send out an email. You got Cyber Monday. So we got 2 more days that people just expect to get emails about continuing sales. So, her number's going to even go up more than that.
Right.
She was hoping for 50. She did 40, which I think was really strong. It was about the same as she did last year. What were some of the things that sold really good for you?
Those Super Saver cards are the highest. I wish I had all the numbers. I'll probably have them done today. But Super Saver cards were the highest. And I wish like I said, I wish I had the numbers for you. But you know what I do have, which is really cool, is when you use a square, they break it down and send it to you in an email the very next morning. category. They break it down by category. So if you set up your square or whatever you're using into categories while you're selling, the next morning you'll get an email broken down. So I'm going to pull that up. So
now, just so I can kind of explain to people listening what Super Saver cards are. A few years ago, we came up with this idea that instead of just selling like parent side outs, where people buy a year's worth of parent side outs and save 20%, they would actually get a card that looks like a credit card, and they had different color ones. Tom had one for people who prepaid for parent side outs, people who prepaid for testing. He had one that was like all-inclusive that did inter-school tournaments also. And so he's got these cards displayed. I mean, you guys know what a credit card looks like. So they're just different color credit cards, and they're Super Saver cards. And the whole idea was the kids actually had something in their hand. Parents had something in their hand. We recommended that you put them inside a like a Christmas card, and inside the Christmas card, it gives the value of the Super Saver card. So if it was for parent side outs, it's there's parent side outs and everything that was included. And Tom did a really good job when I showed the tables a couple weeks ago. He's got one table set up just for the Super Saver cards. I really like this because he's selling a service. There's no real additional cost in this. It's not like selling a T-shirt. We have to pay the cost of the T-shirt. It's just service that they're getting. So, Tom, I didn't want to take everything from you, but I know you're looking up at that on that square.
yes, I category. Okay, so you have to go into a couple different on the phone. It's a little different. Okay, so now this is out of $14,000, but if you just take this is like a percentage, so it's going to probably be the same throughout all the different ways that we were charging. So. Super Saver cards, we did 3,200. Summer camp, we did 3,000. Birthday party, discount cards. Okay, so discount cards are basically Super Saver cards, but you break them down. So now if somebody doesn't want to get a parents' night out sleepover combined with a tournament or combined with a black belt card, which could be that their son's a black belt, right? And they don't need the basic belt exam discounts. They just want kids' night out and sleepovers. Mm-hmm. So this breaks them down. They can get them singular. And so I ran that discount table. So what you want to do is while you're selling somebody, when they come up to you, the way you upsell is they say, well, I think I'll get a kids' night out card. And, I think I'll go ahead and get that black belt or the belt test card. Oh, well, then you want to go back and see Mr. Baker over there at the Super Saver card, because now you can get for $50 less, you can get a red card that's going to give you 4 private lessons on top of what you're asking here. So we've really set it up. We've had about 3 years to work on this, and it's really a great system. So we made $1,700 on discount cards and $3,200 on Super Saver cards. If you combine those two, you're looking at almost half of everything we did on this particular square here. Mm-hmm. So then summer camp obviously is second, right? So, or third. So you want to just, it's just kind of the way you look at it. It says uncategorized 4,250, which is the highest number, but I'm assuming that's like merchandise and some other things all combined. But definitely Super Saver cards. I have a little chart that I drew up to get a grand total of 50,000 on my holiday sale, and I broke it down into every booth. So 13,500 is what I come up with Super Saver cards, and 7,000 with summer camp. Then you add in my premium programs. That's basically upgrades, right? So your premium programs are your upgrades. That's your CIT, your hyper, sparring club, or whatever you guys have as separate we have a weapons class, for instance, and so we have it's called Premium Program Booth. Anyway, so not to take up too much time with that. I could tell you a little bit about how we set it all up, though, starting with 2 months prior. I think that's key to doing a huge holiday sale.
Just a guesstimate, birthday parties, how many?
So 10%. So looks like we probably, I'm going to just guesstimate here. I can give you the total numbers tomorrow probably, but 10%. So we made 10%. So you're looking at 50 grand, 5 grand. You're looking at
how much did you charge for the birthday parties?
Between 150 and 250. 150 to 250, depending on which one.
Okay,
and
so you sold more than 20 then.
Yeah, there you go. I
I
was going to say 50, but 40 sounds probably more like it.
Right.
And I'm sorry, these are like, I wish I had my numbers done last night. We were exhausted yesterday, so we, after we cleaned up, actually Ellen stayed home and I cleaned up, and then I came back and I jumped into bed and took a nap. And that turned into like waking up this morning almost. So
if you can send me some pictures that I can share, that'd be pretty cool. What I was going to recommend today for everyone, if they had their sale or maybe it's coming up, at least email all your students the schedule for the week. Start that out so it's maybe some just important announcements that your classes are canceled for Thursday, but you're having a chop and shop camp on Wednesday and Friday, if you're doing anything like that. Also mention if you missed our holiday sale, it's still not too late to get a birthday party at 50% off. So you start with just an email about the schedule, talks a lot about appointments, announcements during the week, and then go into one last chance. Also, if you do those day camps on Wednesday and Friday, still not too late to get more people signed up for those. I was just thinking back in the day when I had my school, one of the things I did on Thursday, and the reason I was open on Thursday and Thanksgiving, because when I first moved to Florida, my actual goal was to have the largest school in the United States. And I kept telling myself, I'm going to work every single day until that happens. It ended up working like a year and a half. So, of course, I'm there on Thursday, on Thanksgiving. And I decided to do a class for dads and kids. And the whole idea was to help moms out so moms could prepare their meals or whatever they're going to do for their day. They didn't have to watch their kids running around the house, so I did that. That turned into a class, then turned into a turkey trot where everyone got together and we ran a couple of miles. And the whole idea was now they're going to build up their appetite and burn some calories so they can have a guilt-less Thanksgiving Day. The next idea that I got from this was from my instructor, Ed Parker. I first started working with Ed Parker in the 80s, and one Thanksgiving Day, I got a phone call, and Ed Parker's on the phone. He just said, I just want to thank you for being one of my students. I want to wish you and your family a happy Thanksgiving. And I just couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe that an instructor of that stature would actually take time off on Thanksgiving to give me a call. So it's one of those things that I adopted as something I was going to do. And it's really neat that if you start doing a phone call like this and maybe thanking your staff or just thanking people you do business with or do your top students, once you make the phone call, you probably feel the same sense of happiness as if you received a phone call. Because giving gratitude or receiving gratitude is the same experience. So if you decide to do that, I think you're going to have a great day. I know you're going to make a few of the people that are important in your lives feel great, but at the same time, it's going to make sure that you have a super happy Thanksgiving also. Getting back to business, Black Friday and Cyber Monday. Great time to put together a couple profit generators from RainMaker. Again, you can do this as another chance to do an upgrade program, another chance to grab one of our new t-shirt designs, whatever you want to do. People expect things like that. They're home on those days, maybe not Cyber Monday, but since Cyber Monday is a big shopping day, a lot of people at work are checking their emails and see what offers come in. Mr. Baker was just talking about one of the things that he did really well was on upgrades. And I don't think really, I know he kind of said two things, is upgrades or additional classes. Those are really add-on he's doing. It's not like where you have to cancel a program and write a whole new program. He's adding on a program to your current program. So if he's got a student that's happily doing his program, he's been there for a year, now all of a sudden this kid wants to do hyper or wants to do instructor training, now they can add that on. If you're doing that and you already did your holiday sale, hopefully you sold some, but next Friday or Saturday is a real good time to do an invitational. An invitational is where you're calling a student up, and Mr. Baker's on the phone, and he's calling a student up. So I think you would be a great addition to our hyper team. I've been watching your class. Mr. Baker number 1 and Mr. Baker number 2 both mentioned that they're really watching you. They feel you have the talent. They feel that you should set your goals a little higher. And I would like to invite you to come to a special invitational class on the 29th. It's going to be 45 minutes. We're only inviting 20 people to try out this class. I'd love to have you there. So now they're coming in. People feel special. They got invited. I know one of the things the Bakers do besides doing a phone call, they actually give an invitation in class. So if they have 30 kids, maybe 10 kids will be invited to front of class, and they're all given an invitation to come try out and see how they do for the hyper invitationals. And then when people come in, just extend the holiday sales special. You know, I know this is kind of putting things backwards. You're coming to invitational after we had this special on the sale. I just want to assure everyone that, you know, if you're ready to sign up on your Hyper Today or instructor training course, I am going to extend that holiday sale of pricing to you. So these are just different ways, and especially something like an invitational when someone goes up into Hyper, that could be $500, $600 for a year. And so you only need 10 of those to get $6,000. I mean, 10 is not a lot. That can easily be done. So we look at the Bakers doing almost $50,000. Could they get up to 60 if they did a couple of these things? Well, I'm sure they can add on something. So a lot of times people hear something for the first time, it sounds like a great opportunity, but they got a little buyer's remorse. A second opportunity to actually take the invitational could be what it takes to get them to sign up. Any comments or anything?
As far as like the calls, I just find that I very rarely get anybody on the phone. I mean, at any time. So would you suggest like leaving a message? Yep.
Yeah. If you're calling, you've got some parents, and these are very involved parents that always are volunteering to do something. You may do a parent site out there volunteering. So they're just those very involved parents. You're just going to call them. If they don't answer the phone, I would just say, hey, just want to call and wish you guys a great Thanksgiving, man. You're so important to the school, and I just want to express my gratitude. Have a great weekend. I'll see you next week. Yeah, that'd be fine.
Perfect. Perfect.
All right. Everyone have a great Thanksgiving. Mr. Baker, thanks for jumping on today.
You're welcome. Thank you. Yes, you too. Have a happy Thanksgiving.
Was there for somebody like me who is like, okay, this is way on the other end of the scale. Was there a meeting? Did we do one like just getting started with something with these holiday sales? I mean, what are a couple, like if you're going to do 2 or 3 things or whatever, do we have something out there?
I think, we can talk about it with you privately tomorrow. Okay. But I would definitely pick maybe the second weekend of December. You know, a lot of people like to do it before Thanksgiving, so people spend money with you before they spend it with on something else. So they try to do it early. But I have a client, Charles Jarnigan. He runs his the second Saturday of December. He always does really, really well with it. So you have probably 3 weeks to get ready.
Still got some time. Okay.
Yep. But just plan on it. It's a one-day event. It's 3 hours. What we're doing is putting packages of products and courses for sale, birthday parties. I put a whole bunch of pictures of Mr. Baker's sale, which I think is really easy to kind of see how he has a table for everything he's selling. So he'll have a banner that says Super Saver cards. He's got the whole table decked out. He'll have a table that's dedicated to birthdays. And on there, he's got a birthday cake because that's included. He's got a sword because they cut the cake with a sword. He's got the different themes, the hats, the tablecloths, all kinds of stuff. So when people come in, they're explaining what's on the table, and that explains the birthday party. And, you know, selling a birthday party in his school, it's not like we're just providing a birthday party. We take in a personal interest. We love our students. We're going to make sure that's the best birthday party ever in their life, you know, because that's how serious we take our birthday parties. I kind of like that. You know, we take our parties seriously, and we have fun, but we take them seriously. We want to make sure the experience is there for the child and for the mom. So we can talk all about that. You have time.
All right.
If you start thinking like I was talking to Melody, you know, first time, if you can do $5,000 in one day, I mean, you know, that's great as a bonus going into 2018.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. And just go into RainMaker's business solution. Just start scanning down. You'll see I did quite a few recordings for birthday parties. I'm sorry, holiday parties.
I think we did. Okay. Sounds great.
All right.
Have a good one.
Hey, everyone have a great Thanksgiving.
You too.
Thank you. You too.
Bye.